Hey there everyone, welcome to my little game room here. Now today's video is going to be a little different. I got some good news, I got some really bad news, and I'm also doing a little giveaway to show some appreciation. So it's a little bit of everything. Now, if you watched my recent video, I explained how things hadn't really been going my way, you know, the last year and a half, 2 years. And unfortunately, that trend seems to continue. So there's no easy way of, you know, saying it, except for just saying it. If you watched my previous video, then you know that my mom died of cancer just before Christmas 2020, so just a few months ago. And on March 22nd, hello cat. So March 22nd, I went to the emergency room because I had some medical concerns, and it turns out that I have stage 4 colorectal cancer, which has spread to my lymph nodes, my blood, and to my liver. So, you know, I have a 10 centimeter long tumor, not diameter, it's more like a sausage. Basically, you know, in my rectum, so to say. I mean, that's what it is. So it's been there for quite some time. And then, as I said, that spread, so I also got 2 smaller tumors in my liver. One is on the far right and one is on the top. They're both less than a centimeter big. The biggest one is like 9 millimeters, and the other one is like 6, 7. So, you know, basically since March 22nd, I've been in and out of hospitals. I've done CAT scans, MRIs, I've done ultrasound, I've done, you know, blood tests, and I do blood tests every single Wednesday right now. So it's been really busy. It's been, you know, a roller coaster of a ride, emotionally, of course. The good news is that the doctors are hopeful that they will be able to remove the tumors from my liver. But in order to have the most success, what they've done is they've put me on chemo. So I'm about halfway through a 3-month period of chemo. So what happens is that every other Wednesday I go in, they installed a little valve right here in my chest, feeds up, I don't know if you can see, there's a little scar here, maybe see the little cord, that goes into my artery, and basically they hook me up to a chemo machine. That'll start pumping chemo straight into my bloodstream, and I do that for 4 hours straight. After that, I get a little pump that I carry around in a little bag on my hip that will continue to feed me chemo for the next 48 hours. So every other week, from Wednesday to Friday, I'm actively receiving chemotherapy. And you might be able to hear from my voice that it kind of sounds like I'm going through puberty again. My voice is cracking all over the place. That is one of the side effects. Basically, it just it attacks rapidly growing cells, which you have a lot of in your nervous system, your mouth, your taste buds, and you know, hair, all of these things. So I get, like, one of the side effects that I get is hypersensitivity to cold. So I can't drink anything that's colder than room temperature. You know, if I grab something out of the fridge, it feels like I'm basically like getting a frostbite. You know, that's something I can cope with. It's annoying, but it's not exactly, you know, impacting my life in a major way, per se. Yeah, so the hope is that the 3 months of chemo will reduce the sizes of the two tumors that I have in my liver, and then end of July, beginning of August, they're hoping to do a surgery and remove those two tumors. Now, it's not going to be easy. You know, they're hopeful, but at the same time, the liver is, you know, a very important organ, and it's very rich in blood. So, you know, just a small mistake and there's a high chance that, you know, it'll bleed profusely. As I said, one of the tumors is on the right hand side, and it's almost at the wall per se. So they're feeling really confident about that one, because they don't have to do a large incision to get that out. The other one, on the other hand, and the one that's located more towards the top, that is situated more towards the center. So they'll have to go in about that much, you know, either which direction they want to attack that from, they have to go in deep. So there's a risk, you know, that there's some blood veins there, you know, the chance of bleeding is, you know, really big. But they're confident. I'm confident in my doctors. But at the same time, realistically, you have to look at all aspects of it. It's not going to be an easy surgery. But, you know, the tumors are small enough that even by going in, the incision area doesn't have to be that big. So they're not going to do a lot of damage to the liver and the surrounding tissue. And then after that, they're a little unsure whether or not they can do both the tumors that are in my liver and the tumor in my rectum at the same time. I have two different doctors, one liver specialist and one colon specialist. You know, they're used to working in teams. They often operate on the same patient at the same time. But it all depends on, you know, how I react to the surgery, how I react to the treatment, the chemo that I'm receiving right now, all of these things. So they might be able to try to remove all of them, but what they will at least focus on is the tumors in my liver, which are the most dire ones. Basically, to be blunt, if they don't do anything about the liver, there's about a 5 to 10% chance that I will live, you know, 5 years or so. So, you know, the liver definitely has to be fixed. That's the most urgent. If they're not able to do anything about the colorectal cancer at that time, then they're going to reevaluate if they're going to put me back to chemo to try to more, focus their attack on the colon, because right now they're focusing the chemo on my liver. So even though the chemo goes everywhere in the bloodstream, the particular chemo that they're using is more, I would say, effective against the 2 tumors that I have in my liver. So the hope is to shrink them down, make the incision easier. But they might do more chemo, or they might want to do radiation for however long it would have to be, and then do another surgery to operate on the last tumor. So, the good news is that they're hopeful that I'm getting treatment and that it was discovered, because I've had 0 symptoms throughout my life of anything being wrong, as dire as this is. There has been no indication. The only indication was, on March 22nd when I went to the hospital. And the reason was that I had a large amount of blood basically coming out, and there was no reason for that to happen. It just suddenly was there, and that's a serious sign that something is terribly wrong. But even after, I don't have any of the typical symptoms. So usually, at least here in America, they don't scan males for colorectal cancer until they get 45. It used to be 50, now it's 45. And I'm 40. So there would have been another 5 years before I would even consider taking, the standard exams and scanning for colorectal cancer, or any type of cancer really. Well, that's not necessarily true, since my mom died from cancer. I was already thinking that, hey, I should probably get myself checked out just in case. But I wasn't in an urgent, I'm still dealing with the aftermath of my mom's death. There's still a lot of things needs to be done back in Norway. I have, as I mentioned in the previous video, I have a lawyer that's working on that case, and it seems to be wrapping up. We've managed to sell the house, we've got rid of her car, we've cleaned out the house, we've done all of these things. It's basically just a matter of the last legal issues. But even so, there's a lot of communications back and forth. There's a lot of thoughts going through my head that I want to go to Norway, I want to visit her grave. All of these things. So while I was in my head, thinking that I should really get myself checked out, I didn't really fancy going to the hospital during a pandemic, putting more strain on the medical staff that works there, just so that I could get myself screened. I had so much other things going on, but at some point I probably would have done it regardless of any symptoms that I may or may not have. at that time. But as it turns out, I had an emergency. I had to go to the hospital, and basically was, put in immediately. And I spent the next couple of days there. So, things change. I just basically try to go with the flow. That's one of the things that I've learned working as a waiter for close to 15 years, is that you can't control anything. You just have to go with the flow. Every day is gonna be madness. There's gonna be chaos. You just gotta keep your head above water, do the best you can, do it one thing at a time. So being a waiter is actually really good at problem solving, because you focus on the task at hand and you do it. There's really nothing else. So right now I'm just focusing on my chemo. I'm trying to live healthy. Emphasis on trying. But it's hard because one of the biggest side effects is that I have no energy at all. The chemo just takes it completely out of me. So even several days after I received the treatment, I'm still, just laying in bed, or have a hard time just getting up and do simple stuff. I'm just, I have no energy whatsoever. Not to mention that I also get nauseous, and like I get a really huge metal taste in my mouth for several days after the chemo. So typically the only times that I do have any kind of energy at all is the weeks where I'm not receiving chemo. Because as I said, every other week I do the chemo. So every other Wednesday I do that. But that leaves me 1 week where I can do stuff. Like right now, so it is what it is. I'm positive. My wife and I are just trying to do the best that we can, and take it one day at a time. It's also different this time. I was more emotional in my last video because it affected people that I loved, and there was nothing I could do about it. And this is a little different because this affects me. Now, of course, it affects my wife, it affects my friends and so on, people who care about me. But at the same time, it's such a different feeling when you're going through it yourself. There are days where it doesn't feel like anything has changed, and it's really weird, but I just do what I can. I do the best I can and take it one day at a time, and getting ready for the surgery, and we'll see what happens after that. Yeah, so there's that. Now, to change the subject away from that, I was in the middle of doing the Fallout walkthrough, putting voiceover over that, but with my voice being the way it is right now, constantly going up and down, cracking, and you know, it's not as bad right now, but when I'm actively getting chemo, I barely have any voice at all. It's just, it's not there. So I'll keep making a few videos here and there, but it's basically just gonna be whatever I feel like at the moment. It might not even be game related. You know, I have one that I'm planning to make, which is about a laser engraver. So, you know, not exactly gaming related, but it's, you know, I'll just do things that I feel would be entertaining or informational. So now that that's said, let's jump to the giveaway, because I've been promising so many times to do another giveaway, and then something's always happened. It's just been one thing after another, and one of the things that I realized, or came to the realization of, is that I have a lot of stuff. I'm not just talking about games, but I have so many consoles. I have so many gadgets and things and just stuff. And the last thing that I want is for my wife to be stuck with all of it. You know, if the worst things happen, which it is possible that they could, you know, I hope to live to, you know, old age, but realistically, that might not happen. So, you know, I want to clean out a few things, and I want things to go to a good home. And I also want to give back to the community, the people who subscribe and support my channel, because right now I can't work. YouTube is the only thing that's giving me any income at the moment, and you know, it's not enough that I can survive on it by far. It's like $100 per month. That's what I'm getting due to my subscriber rate and my views, but mostly because I haven't been active in putting out new videos. So that's going to change. I'm going to make more videos, and as I said, I'm going to try to keep them entertaining or informational or both. It's just going to be stuff that I think of at the moment. It's not going to be, you know, it's hard. I don't really have any ideas, but as I said, there's going to be one on laser engraver. I might do a review on a game that I love. You know, I have an attic full of consoles that need repair. So I'll go through a lot of stuff, and basically just, you know, make small videos here and there. But getting back on track with the giveaway. So when we moved to the farm, we packed everything into the boxes, and one of the things that I wasn't able to find immediately was my air blower or duster, because I have well, I'll show you. I have this one, which is what is it? A Data Vac electric duster. Now this thing is amazing if you do any kind of electronics. Just plug it in and it'll blow air and just get rid of the dust in those hard to reach places, and it's an absolute must. Compressed air is fine, but you run out quickly and have to keep buying new ones. This will just last you a lifetime, and it comes with different adapters. Like you can see here, I got this thing on. But there's several things that just snap on. I just like this one personally. I feel like that's the best adapter for me. Focuses the airflow and so on. But as I said, I couldn't find this when we moved. So what I did was I loved it so much that I bought another one. Now, just when this got to me in the mail, I found my original one. So this is unopened. It's still in the case. I'm gonna give this away. And I think it's like $50, $60 value, something like that. But yeah, I will ship this basically anywhere in the world. But realistically, it does have an American plug on it, so it's rated for 120 volts. So if you're in Europe or anywhere else that gets 240 or 220 volts, you are going to need an adapter for this. So consider that. But yeah, I'll put that here. So yeah, I'm going to give that away, and the way I'm going to do it, I'm just going to do it really easy. Basically, just comment on this video as to why you would like to have it, and I'll just go through the comments because I love reading those comments. I haven't read any comments lately. I've been kind of avoiding Facebook, YouTube, all other things because I've been so focused on everything else that's going on. But yeah, just comment below why you want it, and I'll read through it. And then let's say a week from now. Yeah, a week from now. So next Saturday, or well, I'm filming this on Saturday. Might not be Saturday when I upload the video. But 1 week from the video goes live. I'll put some more details in the description below. But yeah, just comment down below why you want it, and you might get it. In addition, of course, please subscribe, like the video. Another thing I also want to say is, and I don't expect this at all. Let that just be clear. It's hard because I don't like to ask for help. It's just not in my nature. I'm very stubborn in that way. But one of our closest friends here in America started a little GoFundMe to help me and my wife to pay for the medical bills, other bills, all of this stuff. And there's been so much love and generosity that's been showed to us so far, and we're really thankful. It has helped us a lot, but at the same time, my sister, who lives in Germany, also started a PayPal donation thing. I don't know what to call that, but there's been so much generosity to both of those, both the GoFundMe and the PayPal, it's just unbelievable, and I appreciate it so much. I can't even explain how much I appreciate it, but you know, it helps me to not worry about our bills, about the farm, about putting excess pressure on my wife, because right now she's the only one working, and you know, I'm not making enough as it is just by YouTube, and you know, so really appreciate all the help and support that we've gotten. The outreach from our friends, from our neighbors, from our families has been absolutely amazing. So I'll put links for both the GoFundMe and for the PayPal down below in the description box. As I said, I don't expect anyone to donate anything, but it's so much appreciated. So I guess that's that. That's the long and the short of it. So again, if you want that bad boy right there, let me know in the comments, and I will find a good home for it. So thank you so much for watching this video. I'm sorry it became such a long video. I was hoping to keep it short, but there's just so much to cover. Yeah, hopefully this will end up somewhere nice, and I will see you in the next video, and thank you so much for your continued support, and I love you all. Bye.